Hello Scorpio, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And please go check out the other videos that may pertain to your sun, moon, or rising signs. I think that will give you a much more dynamic picture of what is going on this week, all right? Let's get into it and see what Scorpio needs to know for this coming week. And we start off with the Hermit card. That is going to be interesting. Now, we are going to lay out the rest of our 10 cards here, but we're also going to do an 11th card. And that is going to be our bonus card, our confirmation card. We're not going to look at it till the very end, and we're just going to see how that might tie together the whole reading or give us that confirmation that we're looking for, okay? So with this Hermit card, I see the situation now is going to become one this week where you're going to need to look inward for your answers. Okay, I think whatever is going on this week, and we're gonna get to some of these other cards to see what it is that might be going on, but I think the general theme is you're gonna have to find the answers inside. The external world is not going to have the answers that you're looking for, okay? I think that this is going to be a week of rest and recuperation, maybe meditation, spending time alone, spending time with yourself. Just kind of pull back from the social situation that you might be in, and look inward for answers. Try to hear that inner voice that might be giving you the guidance or instruction that you need at this time, okay? So with this Hermit card being the very first card in our spread today, I think this is very important. I think this is kind of this, if we didn't look at any other cards this week, right, if we just stopped right now and just said, hey, Hermit card, I think this would mean a lot. I think you would know what I'm talking about. And I think that this is a time, this is a week at least for this next few days. I think you're going to see the need for this turning inwards, for this kind of taking a little bit of a break from everything and just getting in touch with yourself and looking inside for answers, turning toward your inner guides, your spirit guides, spirit, the universe, and just that light within you. Listen for that, you know, that still small voice inside of you that's giving you that guidance, that is that light within you, okay? Very important here, I think, to focus on this. Now, I think that you are a person who has been very stable and successful in life, especially in terms of finances. I think that you are very comfortable. I think you're very blessed financially. I think you also have, you know, a pretty good fitness level. With this 10 of discs, I think it's generally speaking about the earth realm, right? And I think that's your health and your wealth. And I think you're pretty stable. You're pretty well off there. I think you've been blessed that way with your physical health, and you have some financial stability. Okay, and I think that's something that's quite important to you. I think when all is said and done in life, I think as long as you have your health and some financial security, the sky is really the limit for you, and any other adventures that you take are just like bonus. You know what I mean? So I think that you have a good foundation and a good history of keeping yourself fit and healthy and financially sound. Maybe nothing extravagant, maybe not crazy wealth, although maybe it is. The 10 of discs sometimes is just like you've literally got bags of money sitting around. You don't know what to do with it all. But I think the main idea is that you have a nice safety and security and stabilizing kind of energy about you in terms of fitness and finances, right? Health and wealth. So I think that is kind of where you're at right now, and whatever this situation is calling for you to turn inwards and look inward for the answers. Don't look to other people, or don't look outside for the answers to this question, because this might be a more existential question. It might be a more just a more spiritual or subtle kind of situation or question that's going on with you, and you're just trying to look, you're trying to find answers, but I think you're looking in the wrong places. Now, in the immediate past, we've got this 8 of Swords. Now, this is some kind of interference or static or messages not getting through, or an inability to really clear your mind and have the clear understanding and the clear thinking that you need. in order to figure yourself out of this situation, whatever this may be. And we're going to get into some ideas of what it could possibly be. But I think in the recent past, or if this is like, the beginning of the week, I think there's going to be this inability to really clarify things, or to really even maybe formulate the question. I think maybe you're having a hard time just getting your thoughts in order, maybe having a difficult time really just speaking with yourself, right? And trying to understand what messages are coming from your higher self, from your inner light, from your spiritual guides, and so forth. So I think there's some static or some interference going on there where your mind is just not, it's not able to clearly receive those signals, right? And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that you might be in a place in life that doesn't have very good reception. You know what I mean? Like if you're too involved in the external world, or your mind is too busy with the external things, that could be causing a little bit of that bad reception. And so this Hermit card, I think, is really there for you to say, hey, you need to go to a spot that gets a little better cell signal, right? Go wherever the Wi-Fi is a little bit stronger. And I think that is within you. I think that is by just pulling back a little bit from the kind of busyness of your life, and spend some time with yourself, communicating with yourself, and I think this interference or static will clear up. Now, in terms of what's in the immediate future, what you're hoping for, really, I think you're in a situation now that you really feel like you have to struggle. You have to kind of fight against something. I don't know quite what that is, if you're fighting with yourself, or if you're fighting with some other people around you, or you're kind of embroiled in this battle. Just in general, it might not be with a specific person. It could just be with your own thoughts and feelings, or with the work that you do, or just with life and existence in general, right? I feel like you have this this impulse, like you need to break free from something, or you need to fight your way through this situation. So I think that is kind of where you're looking now. You're looking towards, okay, who do I have to fight? How do I battle my way out of this, right? I think that's kind of what you're hoping for, is that this is just going to be something where you just have to fight your way through it. If you're strong enough and fast enough and you can fight your way through it, then you'll be okay. I think there's more to it than that. I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know if this is something that you can just use your force and fire to get through. I think with this Hermit card, leading into the immediate future of this Moon card, I think the answer, again, lies within you, lies within your imagination, within your kind of dream or astral world, within your the subtle realms within you, that I think if you were to take some time and do that, the meditation or the prayer or just the relaxation and just turning inward a little bit, again, kind of just turning away from the hustle and bustle and the busyness of your life to spend some time just with you, I think that you might find the answers within you. You might find more creative ways to deal with whatever this situation is. And again, I think that you're hoping it's just something you can fight your way out of, right? Because I think that would be easier for you. You would just fight, kick its butt, and things are all good. But I think that there's a more subtle answer, and the approach now is to turn inward, to clarify your thinking, and receive the messages from your higher self, from spirit, from your inner guides, and enter that kind of dream, fantasy, imagination, that those subtle planes, that kind of imaginarium or that astral realm where you can meet your inner guides on more of a visualization level, or a more spiritual plane that involves your imagination and some of that meditation or prayer or whatever it is you do to get in touch with spirit, or get in touch with yourself, your super ego, or your unconscious, or whatever you want to call it. We all have different words for that, and different ways to look at that same kind of idea. But I think that's the theme here, is that this isn't something that you can just kind of fight your way out of with force and fire. It's something that you're going to have to turn inward and seek guidance within, in those other realms, right? In order to really get an idea and an understanding of what it is that you should do. And I think that's how you're going to clarify exactly what is going on, and you'll be able to receive those messages by I think by embracing that hermit energy and turning away from the hustle and bustle a little bit in order to receive those messages. We also have the Seven of Swords here, which is kind of crossing the hermit's path, right? So if we had the Eight of Swords, you embrace this hermit energy, and then you get the Seven of Swords. Well, I think you're going to start to clarify things. I think we're headed in the right direction, right? We're going from 8 to 7. Now, if we had some other swords here, I think that would be a little bit stronger indication that you're going to be able to clarify things mentally and be able to kind of analyze and reason things out. But we don't see that. We see going right into the Moon card. So I think part of this is that this isn't a situation that you can just use logic and reason to figure out. You know, as much as you want to just have it clearly defined and be able to analyze it and sort it out mentally and then just fight through it and be done, I don't think it goes that way. I think it's more with the subtle realms, with the spiritual realm, with the inner realms, the inner guides. So I think that trying to use your logic and reason to figure it out and analyze it is not going to do it for you. I think it's going to be that subtle exploration of your kind of inner worlds that we see with the Hermit and with that Moon card. Okay. Don't forget to hit that like button, and please subscribe to this channel. It's because of all of you that I get to do this every day, every week, every month. It's what I love to do, and I thank you so much for being a part of this. Okay, moving on. You see yourself as someone who can literally fight through anything. That once you decide on a direction, once you get this idea in your head, once you kind of make up your mind, there's no stopping you. You'll use this force and fire to get whatever it is that you need. You can literally fight through anything, right? And that's the key, I think, is once you figure it out. But in this situation, there's no figuring it out. There's no using that logic and reason to like make up your mind. So you don't know where to apply this fiery force and like fighting energy. But you see yourself as someone traditionally who, once you get an idea, you go for it, and any kind of obstacles, you use your power and your strength and your courage and your enthusiasm to just break it down, just fight through it. And I think that's probably why you have this this good stability with your health and wealth, your fitness and finances, okay? Because you have this Queen of Wands energy where you can fight through anything, and you have that skill. However, I think the situation, again, the environment around you is calling for different tactics. It's different methods that are called for this week. And with this Three of Wands, I think it's still about that fiery energy, right? Because we have wands. Wands are fiery energy, and we saw the Five of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands here. But this fiery energy is withdrawn into itself. The threes are not so much on the physical plane. They're kind of withdrawn within you more. So I think it's kind of about taking all of this fiery fighting spirit and energy and channeling it into the inner worlds and using that Hermit and that Moon card to do it. Okay, so it's taking all of this impulse to just fight and battle and be in charge and have control, and channel that inwards and maybe give up a little bit of that control, that kind of mental, physical control, and just let your own spirit guide you, kind of thing, okay? And that's with the Hermit and the Moon card. So it's really about taking that fiery energy and channeling it inwards and allowing a little bit of that control to loosen so that you can have, you know, those experiences that'll give you clarity through a different means, a more subtle means, a more like just from the unconscious, more synchronicity than just reason and brute force, okay? I think your ultimate worry and fear is that you're going to lose some of that fitness and finances, some of that health and wealth might take a hit, or it might be challenged or damaged by this situation, that something might be threatening your health and wealth, your fitness and finances. I don't think that is the concern here. I don't think that is something that is really going to happen in this situation. I think that you have a great support system around you. I think you have a lot of safety and security and that nurturing energy just from the universe, from nature, from the environment, but also from your friends and family and your loved ones. Okay, so I think that you are someone who is well taken care of. I think you take care of others, and I think there's a lot of love and support in your life. Okay, now that doesn't take away from the necessity of taking advantage of this hermit and taking this week perhaps to withdraw from the social scene or whatever and just turn inwards. This support system will still be there. I think your finances and your fitness will still be there on the other side of this, but in order to figure out whatever this situation is, to figure this out, I think you have to turn inward. And as the long-term projection, the next week or two or month or two, we have this Eight of Discs, and I think this is, rather than using this force and fire and fighting spirit to get through this situation, I think your tactics may become a little bit more subtle. Going through this period of turning inwards for guidance, right, finding the answers within, I think your tactics might evolve into something a little bit more subtle, meticulous, slow, and gentle, and nurturing. With this Eight of Discs, this is about, you know, you're really watering the plants slowly, not giving them too much water or too much fertilizer, not too much sun or fire, right? So it's just the right mixture of elements and tactics and the right approach. It's a slow, cautious, paying attention to details. It's very just kind of gentle. It's not just force and fire and rushing through and battling this out. So your tactics are going to change a little bit, and they're going to be a little bit more soft, a little bit more passive and gentle, I think. Now, this could completely change when we look at this confirmation card. I could be way off with that Eight of Discs. You know, that could just be a slow return to your regular life. You know, the regularly scheduled activities of your life. You know, it could just be like slowly re-entering things, slowly getting back into the swing of your life and the routine and the general circumstances. Once you get through this situation, just take it slow. Either way, I think that card's about taking it slow and gentle and being cautious, right? Now let's check out this confirmation card. I haven't looked at this. We don't know what this is or how this is going to really change things. We have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups is about emotional disappointment or some kind of emotional stress or turmoil. So this is a strange one in this situation. I think that this is trying to temper your expectations a little bit. Whatever this situation is, I don't think success in this situation or victory or whatever you want to call it is necessarily going to feel like it. Whatever is that's going on, I think maybe at the end it's not going to be all fun and games and joy and pleasure at the end, okay? So whatever is going on may still be difficult and disappointing, and it may sadden you. It may not be joy and fun, but you'll get through it, and you'll do it in a way that is going to, one, it's going to kind of safeguard this that we were talking about, your fitness and finances, your health and wealth, but it might still be a little bit painful emotionally. So whatever this situation is, if it's a romantic thing, if it's something with some friends or family or a work situation, I think when you get through this, it's not going to feel all that great, but I think the best outcome that you could hope for is that you'll come through this on the other side intact, whole, and you'll be able to work yourself back up, you know, emotionally with that Eight of Discs as well that we saw here. This is like the slow paying attention to details, nurturing things kind of back to where they were. So there, I think at the end there will be a little bit of sadness or disappointment, but I think it's kind of an inevitable ending. I don't want to say that, so I'm thinking that with this Five of Discs, it's just saying that this situation really might be about something very emotional, which is, again, I think is another reason why just using your logic and reasoning and your kind of brute force to get through this is not going to be the answer, because maybe it is a situation that involves those more subtle realms or subtle feelings or those emotions and things. So just, you know, I'm not quite sure right now, I'll be honest with you, how this is really going to play out. But I think that The situation in general is one that involves some hurt feelings, some emotional pain, or some kind of disappointment in maybe a romantic relationship. Leave me some comments. Let me know how this all works out for you. If you want to stick around for the extended version, you can become a member of this channel, and all of the information is down in the description box. I thank you so much for letting me read for you today. This was your weekly tarot forecast. Thank you.